Your personal brand plan is here, and this is my work of 25 years putting together a process that you can follow, support and guidance every step of the way, and in the key areas that you need to create a life first business model. I've got some big claims here, haven't I? Let me break it down. I wanted to create something that gave you the answers that you needed. I am here to ask the big questions and to really help you find a way to do this in a way that feels like you. Not just in terms of your personality, not just in terms of your excitement levels for your business, of what you're building and where you're going, but suits all the other aspects of your life, your circumstances, your goals, your schedule, how you like to work, what kinds of people you want to work with, how many different income streams you want to have, and really create that life first business model that feels in alignment with where you are right now and where you want to get to. And the beauty of this is that wherever you're at, you can find those answers. And also you get lifetime access to everything. So if you ever have a question, or if you want to go broader or wider or deeper in a particular area, you can just do the process again and really figure out, oh, okay, I'm here now. So where do I need to get to? I think that when we have so many questions and we feel overwhelmed, we can't move forward. It feels like we're going round and round the roundabout again and again and again. You can't quite figure out which exit to go off. Like, I don't know. So I'll just keep going round and around and around. I want to help you through 5 key areas to really create the business and life that you want this year. The first area we begin with is the planning section. And this for me is really, really key, because we know now that there are 100,000 million different ways that you can make money. And so we'll get to the money in part 2, but firstly, we'll get into the planning and really looking at you, what's important to you, what's going on in your life and business, what needs to happen in this next phase. And really reconnecting with your goals and who you are and what you're all about and what makes you happy, and all of these questions that in normal life you don't have time to answer because you're too busy being busy and you're in life. And for me, taking that time to really help you understand you is some of the best work that you can do on yourself, because once you lay those foundations and begin there, it's almost like working out what kind of house you're going to build. I mean, somebody could go in and go, wow, look at this 3/4 sofa, like on a right angle. It's going to be fantastic. Or we thought we'd build a kitchen like this. Well, if the foundations and if the roofs and walls and everything doesn't fit that, there's going to be a clash there. So that's why we always start with your plan first, because it's really important that we identify what's happening for you. The second part is all about your pricing and packaging, working out what kind of business model you want to have that's going to suit your life plans. And this business model might have different parts to it. You might have a portfolio career like me, where I earn for different roles. So I earn from acting, I earn from coaching and speaking and writing and content creation a little bit, some affiliates and various other parts. And really honoring those different parts of yourself and your unique set of skills. Because maybe, like me, you've been told things such as, oh, you're so confusing. It's like a jack of all trades, master of none. Or, oh, what are you up to now? Or, I don't know how you do all of those things. It must be so overwhelming. But actually, for you, variety and interest and things feeling good might be part of your life plan. So, therefore, to be able to create it in terms of your money might just feel brilliant. And you may also be at that stage with your current business model where it just feels like a struggle, a hustle, a push the whole time, and it doesn't feel flowy. Maybe you are, or you have been, creating something based on what somebody told you should do. Like, all coaches are doing this. This is the way to do it. And actually, everything about your life is going, but I can't do that. I remember a coach recommending to me that I do this thing every single Monday morning. I was like, well, I can't, because I had a tiny baby at the time. I was like, well, Monday morning is just kind of like every other morning, really. And at that stage, it was dependent on whether we'd had any sleep or if I'd been on my own all weekend, you know, if my partner had been working. And Monday morning didn't have that predictability. And so really going into how much money you want to make and how you want to make it, it's going to give you so much insight. Part 3 is all about your positioning and really looking at your online presence, the personal brand that you have, and really looking at that online home. I almost see it like a doll's house of how people can experience and tour what it is that you do and get to know you. And there will be some people, and I often talk about these, the hoppers, the shoppers, and the poppers. There'll be some people who just pop into your website because they've met you at a wedding, or somebody, one of the mums from school is like, you should check out her website. Like, she might be able to help you, you know. She does that thing. Why don't you have a look? They're the people who are popping and having a look. Then there are the people who are hopping about. They're getting to know you. They're a little bit more interested, but they're not quite ready to make a decision. They're in that sort of browsing phase, or they keep coming back again and again. They're building that relationship with you. And then there's the third option where there's those shoppers, those people who are like, yeah, I'm ready. I want to do this right now. I'm ready to buy. So really looking at that checkout system of being able to support those people. And I think that the way that people sometimes see an online presence is, I've set my website live now, I'm done. Whereas in order for things to be moving and shaking, almost like your real home, like it's a living, breathing thing, and it changes and it moves, and there are certain times where like there's a focus of you all being in one particular room. And so really looking at your positioning and having that confidence in your foundations, but also the flexibility and wiggle room should you need to change as you go. Part 4 is all about presenting and visibility and content and speaking and putting yourself out there and building an audience and your messaging and storytelling. And often this is the part that most people don't want to do. We're fearful of being a show off. We don't want to be too much for people. We don't want to annoy people showing up in their timeline all the time. But you know what? The thing is, after 15 years, the amount of times when people have come to work with me, they've said, I'm really glad that I found you and what you offer, because I was looking for it. And I needed that help and I needed that support. And yes, you showing up and sharing your story and what you're all about, maybe it will annoy some people. They're like, I don't want to work freelance. I'm very happy in my corporate career. Thanks very much. I'm not interested in this thing. But there might be some people who go, what? What did she just say? Like, I could do that? This is possible? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let me get a cup of tea. Let me listen into this person. And sometimes we need to hear those stories to believe that it's possible. I remember when I moved to London at 18, I came down to go to drama school, and it was only maybe 20 years later that it dawned on me, before that time of coming to drama school at 18, I'd never met a real life actor in real life who was making money. They hadn't entered my path and I hadn't entered theirs in any shape or form. And I think, gosh, wouldn't that have been wouldn't that have been insightful if I'd actually met somebody beforehand who could help and advise me? But that's the way. In this world, I think showing who you are and what you're all about is really useful, and it's important. And we might not be able to believe it unless we can see it. And maybe you could be that person for somebody else or a group of people. Finally, we're going to go into the personal, your habits, your behaviors, what you tell yourself, what you don't, your limiting beliefs, your obstacles, your old stories, your identity, who you are in the world. And we do this work because we can put all the lovely numbers on a spreadsheet or come up with a plan that makes sense on paper. But unless we are in alignment with it, it's not going to happen. And unless we are open to change and meeting that goal with whatever the goal requires of us, it's going to pass us by. There's always this conversation that I hear all the time of lottery winners losing all the money. And there could be many different reasons for that, of course. And I've never been a lottery winner, so I actually don't know what that process is. But I imagine that it must be quite a psychological experience to be struggling and living hand to mouth to suddenly having millions in the bank and maybe no education around money management or what it's like to be that person with £1 million in the bank. And so when you're going into this next level of your life and business, looking at who you are, what you're all about, how you're operating is a really crucial part of the story. And over the last 25 years, I've invested so much in myself and my own self-development. And every time I think, oh, I've nailed that. Like, oh, I've worked through that. Like, that's done. I've ticked that off. There's always a new layer. There's always something else that comes to the surface. It's like, oh, that's why I'm not making progress. Oh, that's still lurking around. And so your personal brand plan is about bearing everything in mind. I know that there will be some people who are specialists and they just do money or they just do goal setting and cutting pictures out and making them look beautiful in a designery kind of way. But what I do is quite different because it's holistic. And it's the 5 key parts of building a personal brand plan that need to talk with each other. And because we work together for 100 days on it, the decisions that you make and the actions you move forward with will be in alignment with each other. So often I will see these things where people say, I've got to do this kind of content because this is what's going to get seen. But if you are trying to sell this kind of thing to people who are not on social media, the two are not going to work together. Likewise, if you're just following the money of what some 19-year-old bro who lives with his mum and works 18-hour days says, and you've got 3 kids and you're a single parent, you're going to feel bad for not hustling harder and not having a protein shake at 3:30 in the morning because you're trying to sleep and you're trying to do all of the things. So if you would like to find out more, come over to my Work With Me page. All the details are there. There are 2 ways you can join your personal brand plan. And I did that specifically. There are some people who want to go all in, one-on-one, together, signing up 100 days. Some people just want the information. They just want to work at their own pace. And the amount of times where I've sat in bed while my baby is asleep next to me, learning and doing a course, that's also fine as well. So it's up to you how you want to do this. And if you'd like to chat further about it, I would love to help and support you and go from there. Lots of love. Check out the links. Any questions, send them over. Anything I haven't covered, let me know. And I'll see you next time.